guys, welcome back. I am really sorry. It's been a really long time. I know I really don't have an excuse for why. I mean, I have a lot, but I don't think any of them really justify me being gone for this long, so I do apologize. I just want to give a really special shout out to anybody and everybody who has asked me when the next episode was coming, just trying to keep up with the show, and I really do appreciate it. That's been one of the strongest motivators to get me back on. Today I want to veer away from sex up front. I want to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart, and I mean that in the most literal sense of the phrase. Today I want to talk about my chest, and more specifically, living life with small breasts. I may have fooled you in the past with a push-up bra or any bra really, but I think it's pretty clear to see here that I am a solid member of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee. If I put my arms out, if I put them up, if I lay back, they pretty much disappear. I am an AB, I'd say, an almost B cup. I don't really have breasts. With all that being said, I am very proud and very confident with my lack of boobs. It took me a really long time to get to a place where I could wear a top like this, go braless, and feel comfortable in my skin. Definitely didn't happen overnight, and to be completely honest, I don't feel like this every day. Caught me on a good day. Today I feel secure and solid and sexy, but there are definitely times where I still look at my body and I'm like, man, I wish I had more body, but I don't. Actually, one of the reasons why I'm filming this episode is because of an experience I had about a month ago when I was shopping for my birthday dress. I was trying on a couple of dresses, completely braless, but in the dressing room next to me, I overheard like a frantic conversation between two friends, like high school age. I think they were trying to find dresses for homecoming, and they were trying to figure out how they were gonna wear a bra with these dresses, or what bra to wear. I'm guessing it had cutouts, or it was like a halter top or something, and I literally just immediately had a full flashback of when I was around that age, frantically trying to figure out how I was gonna have some type of cleavage or some semblance of breast tissue, and a massive part of me just wanted to yell out to them, just go braless. But I didn't want to embarrass them, and I didn't want to clearly be that like older creepy lady eavesdropping. And so I figured, why not use this platform? I think it would be incredibly beneficial to share some of the things that I went through and some of the things that I keep in mind on a daily basis that help me feel more confident with the body that I have. You have to understand that I grew up in the early 90s, and this is a time of plastic surgery becoming the norm in not only Hollywood but in society. You have women aspiring to look like Pamela Anderson, Carmen Electra. Playboy was in its like full-on silicone era, and it wasn't, at no point to me was it ever funny or ridiculous or too much. That was the standard of beauty that I had grown up with all my life, and I just immediately assumed that that was a womanly shape. I just got the idea in my head that when I grew up, when I became a woman, I would fill out and have these great big boobs. Like, I just knew that that was my fate. And I never thought to myself that that wouldn't happen for me. It never occurred to me, despite the fact that both my grandmas had no boobs. My mom is like an A, B cup as well. Like, that just wasn't my reality. And so all of my childhood, I was just determined. I knew that this was gonna be, I was just gonna be, bam, voluptuous. I'd always been one of the younger girls in my class, so around junior high, when all of my friends started developing, I was still as flat as a board. And I started getting made fun of because kids at that age are absolutely evil. So it's around 7th grade or so, when the teasing got really bad, that I started stuffing my bra. Took a bunch of Kleenex, stuffed it into a little ball, put it in my training bra. that my mom bought for me out of mercy, I guess, because I definitely didn't need it. And I started stuffing my bra, and I really remember sitting down with a bunch of girls in my class and them like interrogating me, basically asking me like, so where did these come from? Because they're clearly not real. And I still don't know how I got out of that conversation, but eventually I figured out how to mold them to look a little bit better. And I kept stuffing up until high school. I was not one of the hit puberty first, then get your period, and you're already developed. I was definitely a flat as a board, get your period, still flat as a board, maybe start developing over time. So I kept stuffing my bra, I think up until my junior year of high school. So if you watched my episodes in the past, then you know that I started getting sexually active around 15, 16. So like my sophomore, junior year of high school. And as you can imagine, while stuffing my bra, it would never come off. Nobody ever felt me up. Nobody ever, got to see my boobs because they weren't there. It really wasn't until my end of junior, senior year that I didn't have to stuff my bra anymore. I actually filled out the push-up bra that I had. It was still like an A or B cup, and it had tons of padding, but I was able to fill it out enough to no longer need the tissue. But as you can imagine, that's all school dances, that's homecomings, that's proms, that's pool parties in the summer that I was sewing bras in. I was investing in those sticky jelly cutlets. I was still stuffing. And it really, it was the entirety of my high school career, essentially. It actually took me a little bit to really realize that this is what I had to go through to get to a point of comfortability with my body. But, to each his own. This is what worked for me. This is what got me to this point. Having my first boyfriend really boosted my confidence. At 17, you're still very impressionable, and as much as you don't want to feel like you are, you still are, and other people's opinions still do matter to you to a certain extent. Having a boyfriend really solidified to me mentally that I may not have a super crazy body, but I do have somebody who loves me for me. And even at this point, I was still very in the mindset that I was gonna have breast implants at some point, because all through high school, upon realizing that my boobs were never really gonna grow into Pam Anderson size like I had always imagined, I was adamant that out of high school, I was getting my breasts done. You couldn't question me. It was done. It was a done deal. I might as well have paid for it. Didn't have the money for it, clearly. So, even though I was still very adamant about this, my boyfriend at the time was like, 1, you're crazy, and 2, no. In the 5-year period that we were together, and me having to get out of this mindset of I'm gonna alter my body and I'm gonna change it, it actually just made me have to deal with the fact that this is what my body looks like. I had to still find a way to feel comfortable, not necessarily comfortable, because at that time I definitely wasn't, but at least feel beautiful with what I had. I was definitely an over-abuser of makeup, and I see myself now, and I see that I have a good amount of it on, but imagine all this in purple, in pink, in just colors, and just a lot. So I was definitely overcompensating, trying to figure out how to make myself more attractive in other ways because my body just wasn't cutting it. But with that being said, after 5 years, I stopped doing the makeup, I stopped worrying about the hair, and I just had to deal with what I had. And it was about that time that I really changed up my mentality. So step number 2, change the way that you look at yourself and standards of beauty. Don't compare yourself to women that are with bodies that are just unachievable. Oh, God's blessing me for giving you good advice. It was around that time, early 20s, that I realized that my mentality and my standards for beauty weren't achievable for me unless I altered my body. And so it actually was the impact of one of my best friends coming into my life around 2021. She was absolutely beautiful with no breast whatsoever, and she accepted that. She went completely braless half the time, her nipples were always popping out. But her personality was great. She was absolutely stunning. Nobody ever remarked that, like, no, she doesn't have any boobs, so she's not beautiful. Like, it was undeniable. And I looked at her, she was a bit older. I looked at her and just thought to myself, like, oh my God, you actually, like, you are living proof to me that you actually don't need boobs to be a feminine, beautiful, sexy, attractive woman. It was like my eyes were completely opened, and like nobody had ever told me this. Mind you, all my life my mom had been telling me, you are going to love your small boobs. It really took me seeing it in action. Sorry, Mom. But it really took me seeing it in action to be able to internalize that and apply it to myself. So, long story short, find role models that have similar body types to you. Don't compare yourself to the unachievable. You know, if it's a matter of fitness and you can achieve it, fine. And if, you know what, if it is a matter of plastic surgery and that is what you want to look like, do whatever the fuck you want. But if you want to accept your body for what it is, find somebody that has a similar body type, look at them, see them as beautiful, relate that message to yourself and internalize it. That's what I look like. That's sexy. I look like that. I'm sexy. Math in your mind. So at this point, I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I'm dealing with the fact that I have small boobs. I'm no longer just ashamed about them. Like, it's just the reality of the situation. So what I did, this is my step 3, and this is definitely an optional step. What I actually did for myself is I got my nipples pierced. It worked for me. But with that being said, one, that's not absolutely necessary for everyone. I'm very much into tattoos and piercings and body modification in that sense. And so it kind of seemed like the acceptable form for me. It made me really excited about going braless. Yes, that is very dramatic, very drastic, painful, obviously. Not the worst pain, but like fuck. I almost fainted when it happened, and it took a really long time to heal. But there is a reward in it now, for me at least. Like I said, it made me feel more confident about going braless. Like, now everybody can see what a fucking badass I am. Not only do I not have a bra, I went through some shit. Tip number 4, how you refer to your breast makes all the difference in the world. When I was younger, you know, they were boobs. I wanted big boobs. And when I say the word boobs, I think of myself as a juvenile. I think of my nephews being, oh my God, her boobs were out. Boobs to me are Pam Anderson's big old boobs. I don't got boobs. I have breasts. Breasts to me sounds very mature, very attractive. It sounds like, you know, like if you're reading through an old novel, her breasts were voluptuous, her breasts were perky. Like, it sounds so nice. So I have really nice breasts. You feel me? Think about it. Just say it to yourself. Tits. Tits sounds incredibly vulgar to me. I do say it on occasion, but also tits to me sound like big titties. I don't have big titties. I have small breasts. 5. This is definitely my best tip, and it kind of goes with the second one about having good role models. Have a group of friends that actually give a fuck about your mind, about, you know, your spirit, about your family, about your friends, like about your job, that care about you more than just a vessel of attractiveness or unattractiveness, whatever the case may be. Have people that know you for you and aren't just around for your body. And I mean that in your friendships, in your relationships. Keep your circle close and make sure that you have something to offer those people other than your vanity. Because big, small, all around, face looks nice, made up, hair looks good, whatever, all that is going to change. If I have absolutely nothing to offer up here or in here, then what am I doing? I'm literally a waste of space. So to all my little itty bitty titty committee friends, do whatever it is that makes you feel confident and comfortable with yourself as you are. Find those people that support you as you are. I wish for you all the light and love and self-love please share it with everybody. You have so much power and just so much light to share and give somebody. So please don't shy away because you're not fitting the current standards of what is considered beautiful. You are beautiful. If you like this episode, please, please, please follow, subscribe, leave comments below. Let me know what you'd like me to talk about. Maybe you want to talk about something with me. I'm always inviting people to my bed. But until then, thank you guys so much again for joining. I could feed somebody with these. That's amazing. Like, I don't really have anything, and yet I can sustain a life someday. Not anytime soon. I can barely take care of myself, but someday, that's what these will do. Bye.